Hello, Shredders. It's CreepEvee back from a bit of a hiatus. Before we get into the video, I'd like to go ahead and address that. I know that I have obviously been pretty late on putting videos out, basically a week late. I'm really not even sure what day it is today. I to explain what's been going on, it's really been a lot of things, and I'm not really going to get into it. Just that my family's had a few instances of medical emergencies with multiple different members of my family all at one time. So it has been a lot. Things are improving now, but it certainly has been a rough week and a half or so. Plus, I've been sick for quite a few days now, so it's been a bit of a time to say the least. But I am back. I'm not really sure exactly what my schedule is going to look like for the next couple days, so I don't know what is going to happen as far as this weekend. I am going to try to get back on schedule. I wanted to do the pre-release weekend wrap up, but I did not actually get to go to pre-release because of everything that was going on. I still want to do a review video, but those tend to take up a lot of time, so I don't know when that will get when that will be up. I do want to do that soon, so it's just kind of all up in the air, and I hate to do that to you guys. Making videos for you guys is probably the highlight of my week. I love doing this. I have a huge passion for it, and it really cheers me up. I know I'm not super great at it, but I have a lot of fun doing it, and it, I know that there are some people out there that enjoy it apparently because people keep watching. So I do want to, for those of you that enjoy it, I do like making sure that that content comes out every week for you guys. So I definitely want to get back on schedule. It helps me, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So please forgive me for being late, and I'm going to try to get back on schedule. I don't know when we will be back on schedule. Probably by next week. I think things will be looking a little bit better on my end over here. So that's my explanation for all of that. Once again, hope you guys forgive me on that. But we're going to try to get back into this video because I really wanted to do part 2 of this because I really like this deck. And it seemed like some of you guys liked it as well. Uh, we are, of course, playing Seton again. Our Druid Tribal, or mostly Druid Tribal. And to get you guys caught up, since it's been a little while, we're basically going to try to use our Druids as mana dorks, produce an unholy amount of mana, and cast things like Genesis Wave and Craterhoof Behemoth to win the game. So, with all that being said, let's jump into the video. Alright, so we're up against Melik. I actually saw this, well, my friend sent me an article on a really budget Melik deck to possibly try out, but I don't know whether I really want to play Melik. I feel like once you've played one Izzet deck on the channel, you've played them all. Certainly not true, but it's a little true. Do I want the Sylvan Scrying? I don't think I do. I think I want it later. We're going second. Our opponent is DM Trobs. I think that's what we're going for there. We'll drop the Elvish Mystic and pass. Goal next turn is to go straight for Seton. We got a pretty good hand. We got a lot of card draw. top deck manipulation in the form of Sylvan Library. It's good stuff. Ooh, Elvish Archdruid. I like the sound of that. But we're going to go straight for Seton. And we'll be able to pop an artifact or enchantment if our opponent so chooses to play one. We could pop the Burnished Heart, in all honesty. Trying to decide on that because it getting, I don't know, right, as many islands as he's playing, it makes me want to believe that he doesn't have mountains. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this, but I'm going to go ahead and pop it. I'm just seeing the potential for us to have a really solid early game. So might try to win really quickly. I don't know. I'm probably making poor decision there, but we'll figure it out as we go. So Archdruid is good here. We go Archdruid into Sylvan Library is what I would say we do. Would ask for recommendations, but unfortunately this is a rhetorical format. I'm sure you all have very valid opinions on what I should play, but alas, by the time you are seeing this, it is too late. I think I would enjoy streaming. I've never done it before, but a little early for me, I guess. I want to get some more experience with the video makings. Trying to do some stuff for my own channel. I think I mentioned that in the intro, but with everything that's been going on, it's been a little crazy as far as secondary projects. I did get a piece of artwork for my channel instead of using the one that I just took offline, probably improperly. Our opponent is going to take an extra turn. That's spooky, scary skeletons. Seer's Lantern. But anyway, I commissioned it from a artist friend of mine. I put it up. Obviously, I'm operating off of the channel with the videos that you're watching, but whenever my videos that are hopefully going to be a thing start being a thing, then you'll see them there. But if you've ever spoken to me in the comment section, I post from my own channel to respond to you guys. So you will have seen my stolen icon there, which will now be the new one. I'm going to pay for both here because I want to flood the board this turn and probably cast Shamanic Revelations. Might be overstepping myself here, but I want to do it. I want to do it. I just want to. I wanna. So tap Arbor Elf, tap here, cast Hope Tender. I don't know whether I want to cast Harmonize first. Everything here gets me mana. Harmonize. Let's see. It's getting me 3. And then 4. And then I'll have 3 mana to do something with after I cast Harmonize. Which 3 mana with this deck is normally a good bit of mana. Alright, what do we want to do? Let's tap. Tap. Kieran Ranger. oh, Kieran Sentinel rather. We'll get a green mana. Use that to cast Pioneer. Pioneer does not have a basic land card to put out, but it is a body. And then we are going to Seton to tap both of them. And Devoted Druid comes down. And then next turn, Shamanic Revelation is a huge card. Reason why I went with Shamanic Revelation obviously would have drawn us more cards, but it has far more potential to draw me cards later, as in next turn, because I have so many cards out. Plus, if we played it, we would have been pretty limited on the amount of things that we could have played, because we would have only had 2 mana left to work with, whereas this way we had 3, which pretty much draws you just about anything, well, plays you just about anything with this deck. Especially since these druids piggyback on each other. So it looks like our opponent did have to struggle to get to that mountain. So I think popping that Burnished Heart may have been a pretty solid decision. See what our Sylvan Library gives us. Hopefully something good. I don't know how good that is. Once again, I'm going to keep both of them. Got a big bad case of greed, I guess. Well, I want to get the Izuri down because he's an elf, and that adds to Elvish Archdruid. Plus, we can actually like do a major amount of damage. Okay, so our opponent, seeing the writing on the wall there, just a little bit too slow to keep up. We'd have been drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we had our Nykthos Shrine coming up. That pretty much provides us with an unholy amount of mana. Zendikar Resurgent. Yeah, so we had some pretty spicy things going on there. So that was a pretty solid showing. Let's see if we can do something else with this guy. Alright, our opponent playing Brago, which means I'm scared. I think I will keep this hand though. Brago is just combo palooza, which makes me afraid of him. Of course, I say I'm a tentative player, but I can't really say that because I tend to like not think about counters and just play directly into them most of the time. But overall, like, I'm very careful whenever I go up against like different decks. I know what certain decks can do, and sometimes I just don't like to imagine what they can do to me. I could get Priest, or I could go Sentinel Villager, but that doesn't guarantee that I can cast Seton next turn. This helps it to happen. Casting Priest makes it happen. And then next turn we can get Seton out and hopefully cast it all anyway. I guess I'll go over Brago since I've been talking about him so much. So he's flying. Whenever he deals damage, you can exile any number of non-land permanents that you control and return them to the battlefield. So basically, you're going to get to untap everything, is what the general strategy with him is. But who cares about that whenever you could just cast a Centaur and tap your whole board and make a ton of mana? But essentially, they want to untap everything that they have and use ETB triggers. So you're going to see a lot of those, them flicking them in to reuse those every turn, and it becomes pretty gross pretty quickly. Alright, Seton resolves. I was really hoping we'd draw another land, but I will tap him to cast Village Elder. And I think I'm going to hold off on the Worldly Tutor, even though I could cast it. I like Village Elder. Not so much like him, but he's just a cool card, like as far as the art. Seton gets hit with the Path to Exile. Or no, was that Swords Plowshares? I think it was Swords Plowshares. Yeah. I always want to call them each other. So it's slightly annoying, but I think we can still get some stuff going. If we draw a land, we can... No, we still would need something else. But Kieran Ranger is an elf. And that powers up Titania as far as what she can produce. So let's go tap Kieran Sentinel. It enters, gives me a green. I really like this deck because you get to make use of some of these older cards like Kieran Sentinel and Village Elder, and actually get to use them and play them and make them effective cards. There's a lot of reasons why I like this deck, but that's one of them. Like, you're really not going to see Kieran Sentinel or Village Elder in many other decks, if at all. And still, they're not used for their, I guess, intended purpose, but they are used nonetheless. So Titania gets us to 3, and I really just want to cast as many elves as possible. Because that obviously makes Priest of Titania more viable. And normally I search for Archdruid, but I kind of just want to search for a 1-drop tap for 1. So, Landmar Elves. And the reason behind that, pretty simple. You get it out for 1, and then we're making Priest of Titania bigger as quickly as I can, basically. Or not bigger, I guess, but more productive. Brago also very much likes to use mana rocks because they are non-land permanents that he can flip around. Braga's been watching too much HGTV. He wants to flip houses. But in reality, he only makes people flip tables. Wah, wah, wah. This is high quality humor, folks. You can go to these other channels, but you're not going to find humor like this. You got to come to Magic Gathering Strat for this type of stuff, this highbrow humor. Just think about that next time you're thinking about going to one of those other channels. Please don't. Please stay. I need you. But anyway, like I said, high quality humor, high quality play. Oh no, that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to make the manas. Got click happy while I was telling the people. Telling them what was up. I don't think I've ever had a Sylvan Library in my hand this long without playing it. Because normally whenever I see that card, I drop it like it's hot. So Worldly Tutor is available to me. I don't think I want to use it yet though, because I actually want a chance of drawing land more than anything. Because this is great and all. I'm really really feeling the vibes of what's happening on my board right now. But we are playing against white, so a Wrath of God knocks me out of the game as far as going back to land. Our opponent skips our next combat. Okay. He's not attacking. Well, there's our Crater Hoof. So Worldly Tutor is doing something different entirely now. Now that kind of has me questioning what I go get. And like, I know what I want to get, I just don't know whether... Oh, whoa. Yeah, I know what I want to get. Sorry about the delay there, folks. Just trying to wrap my head around how coolio this play is going to be. And by that, I mean I've most likely miscounted my mana and this won't work. The more I think about it, the more I think that I have miscounted my mana. So we want to get Soul Harvest. He is on tippity top now. Feeling tippity top. We're going to tap and get ourselves a little bit of manas. We definitely don't want to use Crater Hoof this turn, considering the nature of our situation. So Archdruid will let us draw a card, which of course is going to be Soul Harvest. Yavimaya Elder comes down. So now we're going to tap some Druids. If you're playing along at home, you can guess what the play is. I don't know whether that's a fun game or not, but it is a game that is available to you nonetheless, now on iOS. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, guys. Anyway, we're going to cast Soul Harvest. We're going to use Curio to bounce Llanowar Elves. And then we're going to take the 1 mana that Seton has left to produce that being himself, and cast Llanowar Elves. Now, we will then draw Guilt off of Guiltleaf Archdruid. It will enter, and then Soul of the Harvest will trigger. But Curio, we are going to say yes to that and bounce a Village Elder. So then we'll draw a card. Then we tap Llanowar Elves to get that mana, and then we cast Village Elder. So we're drawing 2 cards every time we do this, and we're never spending mana to do it. The reason why I'm explaining this is I can't remember whether we did this in the last video. I think we did. Pretty sure that's how we ended up winning. The only problem is that we can do this as much as we want to, but on that same token, we cannot actually attack this turn. But we can draw a booty load of cards. But I'm trying to think of what is in my deck that wins me the game without us entering combat. And I haven't figured that out yet. And I'm almost a little afraid to overextend here. So many options here, but I don't know which one to go with. I think that I'm going to search for the mana dump, which is our Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. And then we have to discard 1 card, which I think is... It might be Library. Or no, I think it is Forest, because we're going to try to win the game next turn. And that means we only need 1 more land, which will be Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. But basically we could have drawn our entire deck, but we don't have any wonderful cards like... I'm trying to think of what those wonderful cards are. Lab Maniac. So now he comes back in and we have to skip our next combat. So basically we have to figure out a way to kill that thing. Erratic Portal. Okay. So now I have to think of what is in my deck that can win us this game. I don't think we actually have creature removal. I don't think there's a beast within in this deck. And I legitimately don't see a way for us to win without it. Because basically we're completely locked down as long as Brago is out. It has flying, so we don't have any way to block it. I mean, I really don't know what to do here. Nature's Claim to get rid of that. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. So no to that ability. So there's the other card that allows us to go crazy. But at this point, like, it doesn't really... Like, we could do lots of things with that, but what does it even matter, you know? Not to be all, you know, like, crawling in my skin. I'm gonna go ahead and use, yeah, Maya's ability. Because that is actually the best thing I can think to do, because that lets me look at things. Staff of Domination. Unfortunately, that is the only card that I see. Fortunately, we could probably get to it. So let's try to get to it. We can get to it fairly quickly, especially if we do recycle. But I almost worry about how quickly we would draw cards if we played recycle. That's a crazy position to be in, ain't it? Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this thing while I'm thinking about it. Let him gain a little bit of life. I don't even care. Really doesn't matter what we tap because he has flying and we can't attack. So we could play what we can play and then start the bouncy bounce combo again. But I just kind of want to play everything that I can play. I guess I'll go ahead and bounce Cinderhorn Elves while I can. Alright, so that makes a big difference too. So we cast Village Elder. We're not going to bounce with Cloudstone. Basically, I don't want to go any further than I have to go. And that means I keep going until I get to Staff of Domination, and then I stop. And even then, it's like questionable if I win the game from there. I'm actually going to end up having a bunch of one drops out. Which makes it easier on me in case I make a misclick. And plus it does help for whenever I inevitably use Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. I cannot seem to dig to the right card though. So we'll tap Lyrist, play Ranger. We actually are going to use it this time, getting back Land War Elves. And I actually want to go ahead and play... Oh yeah, she's not a druid. I need to keep that in mind. So then effect to get... Oh, we get a lot of effects to use. No to Curio. Draw with Soul. Trying to do this as fast as I can because I don't want to end up timing out. You know, we've done that a few times. Good times. So this guy is actually going to be pretty cool because he's going to allow us, this is the thing that I haven't gotten to do with Pioneer yet, so it's kind of fun. By doing this, I can actually do the same thing that we're doing, but by bouncing Pioneer, I can keep playing lands out of my hand, at least my basic forests. So every time that I do this with her, I think it's a female, I don't know. But every time I do this, I'm going to be able to actually profit by putting out a forest. Of course they're coming in tapped, but... Bounce back. Oh, yeah, this is for... Got my triggers mixed up. Oh no, I don't want to do it for the land. So no, yes. Mounts back the elves. Draw a card. Staff of Domination. No, but it is a Skull Clamp, which is nice. Oh, man, I really want to hurry up and get to it. Because my opponent is probably thinking, like, okay, he can do this all he wants to, but he's not going to get a way out of this lock. But little does he know. Or he might know and say, okay, I'm going to let this dude time out. Which is a valid strategy. I almost want to play the recycle just to try to do this faster. Some of this might end up getting cut out if I don't draw into it soon. Like, jeebus. I'll probably cut from here, which is annoying because I had to do this last time too, which I hope that's not boring to anybody. I can understand how it would be, but I also don't want to, like, I think it would be more boring if I sat here and subjected you guys to having to watch me click this many times, because it's kind of mind-numbing for me as well. I'm bored doing it, so I don't want to bore anybody else by making them watch it. So I'll see you guys on the flip side. Okay guys, so as you can see, I drew a lot of cards and I finally got to my Staff of Domination. And what I was going to do is every time he went to attack with Brago, I'm going to tap it down um, with the staff. That way he can never get in to give the damage to me. That way he can't keep flickering the thing that says that I can't have combat. Next turn, I was going to do exactly what I was doing this turn. I was going to play every single creature in my deck. Then I was going to untap them with Vitalize, play down Crater Hoof, whatever else cards I want to play, and run into his run into him with a huge board of every creature in my deck with the Crater Hoof buff. I'll pull up the just so you guys can read Staff of Domination if you don't know. It has a lot of different effects, so I don't want to get one wrong. But you can pay 1 to untap it, you pay 2 and tap it to game 1, pay 3 and tap it to untap a creature, pay 4 and tap it to tap a creature, which is the effect that we wanted to use, and pay 5 to tap it to draw a card. It's an incredibly strong card in this deck, especially with the untap ability. This deck is just so much fun. There's so much interaction in it. The combos are really fun. I know that there's been several of them that I missed and probably could have done but didn't. But that's what you get. I'm sorry. I mean, I think that I hit most of the combos with it, but my opponent did end up scooping, so I guess we got the win. I explained to him what the plan was. Luckily, he was nice about it and scooped because he didn't really have to, and I was running low on time, so he may have been able to time me out by the time I got my Crater Hoof out. But that's how it works out, so he was nice about it. Had it been a non-timed match, which unfortunately MTGO does not have, we would have won the game that way. So good game to my opponent, definitely, and I do appreciate that. Sorry I bored you if I did. Definitely played a lot of cards that one turn, but I had a lot of fun. I definitely recommend this deck. Like I said in the last video, like, it's pretty cheap to build online because a lot of these are just really old commons. And if you want to build this in paper and you've been playing for a while, you probably have this stuff in a shoebox somewhere, because a lot of this deck is older cards. There's very few new cards in here. I guess depends on your definition of new, but as far as if you've been playing past, like, I don't know what sets these are, but if like you were around like during like anywhere before like Shadowmoor and stuff like that, because that's about where the new stuff stops, except for like Harvest Season, obviously newer card, Vizier, as far as being from recent sets. So there are some recent stuff like Oath of the Gatewatchers in here, but overall, like, this is generally older cards, even by Commander standards. That's a difficult phrase to say. But so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please check this deck out. Like, I really recommend it. This is one of the most fun decks I've played on this channel yet. It held true. I hadn't played green mana ramp on the channel yet. First time I played it, I love it because this is my play style. Love it or hate it, it's super fun. So try it out. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. Maybe if you're not going to try it out, just let me know what you thought of how it did. If you do try it out, of course, come back, leave me a comment and let me know. Look for my new awesome logo whenever I respond to you guys' comments. And then you guys will know at least an artist rendition of what I look like. You'll know the somewhat of a face behind the voice. But other than that, please do like this video to show your support, as well as subscribe to the channel. You get to see all of my videos, as well as all the other great videos that the other content creators on this channel produce. Other than that, I think that that's pretty much the shilling that I had to do. Oh, as far as the schedule to get back on, as of what I'm thinking right now, I'm going to try to do a uh, set review video on Sunday in replace of where this would have been. And then we'll get back to our regular schedule next week, because looks like things are finally settling down around my place now. So hopefully we'll be back on track. I have missed you guys. Hopefully you guys, well, I don't want you to miss me because that means that you were sad. But once again, I do hope that you guys understand everything that was going on. So please enjoy this video. I know it's late, but hopefully you guys like it. I know that I enjoyed playing this deck, so I guess that for what it's worth, there you go. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.